Do you see how quickly the smile comes onto my face? Hello, my name is Dr. Anna Krista. It's been quite a while since I've been live on YouTube, and I wanted to share some things and give one good practical recommendation about your water. If you lost me, then you should know that you lost me to TikTok. I was a lot on TikTok, but actually TikTok lost me now too. Why does that happen? Because I guess I was just getting quiet for some reason. There are lots of reasons to be quiet, don't you think? Quiet is one of the good things. Okay, just in case if I want to be really short today about TikTok. Wow, I've made so many friends, Russian-speaking friends. And my TikTok channel was just in English language in the beginning, but then it's really amazing. Like, I find the people on TikTok to be a lot more friendly, but probably I'm not the only one who knows that. And TikTok did actually quite a bit of a really amazing job bringing people together. I listened to a lot of religious streams, live streams. Sometimes there was like a feeling they're like 24 hours, even like from the same streamer, you know, they just keep going. Lots of people come, and it's amazing to see, like, you know, in the like Muslims and Christians speaking to each other. And in the beginning, I mean, it's sometimes like depending on the weather, you know, it still flares up, but very often it's just amazing because people learn to hear each other and to find some common ground. Lots of people are learning about Torah and connection to the Bible and then to Quran, because it all goes in the sequence. And people are really, you know, learning to, like, as I said, find common ground and more harmony and more understanding and more tolerance for each other. I really believe that it can be found. Okay, that was just emotional part. What else? A lot of Ukrainian and Russian people also learned to hear each other. It's still full of pain, for sure. But I heard from so many people that TikTok saved their lives. Because so many people were depressed. And why people are depressed? Because most of the time it's because of the loneliness and no one to hear. And on TikTok, there is a live connection. It's just like the pulse of life, because there is always kind of like the pulse of life, all of the energies running the universe and the earth, you know, it just like waves and waves comes, like sometimes like chaos, sometimes like it's really orderly and structured, but you can really feel that pulse. Please let me know if you find that live pulse of life on YouTube as well. Yeah, so not mentioning, hello, Robert. Hello, Robert. Yeah, possibly 7 people. Smile. God love you, sister. Michael, thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and so what else I can share? Yeah. So, not mentioning like people really finding each other, or like really finding about who they are, you know. During pandemic, I heard the statistics, like I believe it was like 40% of all of the families in USA didn't want to be married anymore, or didn't want to be in a single relationship. I understand if you just joined me and were listening for the Christian motives, about God motives, and then you hear, oh, no family, no value. do not mean that. Some of you who is following me probably knows that I had 4 husbands from 4 countries, so I'm actually like really, really international that way. King's technology, you have a fracture in your wrist. Let me share with you my experience, okay? On the wedding, I fractured this. I didn't have my amazing enzymes because anytime trauma happens in the body, there is the bad protein starts to be made, and kidneys are not catching up, and there is this enzyme formula saying trauma. So when you take that enzyme formula, it really clears up the blood, and you know, and it removes, kind of like removes the trauma off of your blood circulation. So all of the waste in the body can you know, the cells can cure dump the waste, because trauma creates a lot of waste in the body. So yeah, I had 3 or 4 times when I healed the broken bones in like 2.5 weeks. And also, let me show you one thing that you can get for healing any ligaments or bones in your body. It's from a company called Youngevity. It's summer right now, so you cannot take chicken cartilage and like cook that broth until it's like all the bone is liquid, you know. But this is made of chicken cartilage, has some other good things, but this is like really rebuilds your joints and the bones, you know. And also there are the more fancy things like laser light that totally removes the pain, improves the blood circulation. And somebody asked me to answer something, but I'm not sure. Live chat visible? I'm not seeing my chat. I'm sorry. I'll get better at this. This water is amazing too. When my in the hip the major bone was broke, my leg didn't get swollen like for 5 days when I was drinking a bottle of this. But this is a little pricey, $50 a day. Redox signaling. It's like what is it? Scientific breakthrough. I have all kind of Facebook links. Dr. Jaren, my old name, my old legal name. If you want to find me, you'll find me. But yeah, so I shortly talked about TikTok, about how amazing TikTok is. The life pulse really comes through on TikTok. You really can, if you have a depression or if you have a loneliness, it just takes opening up. If you don't open up, nothing happens. And also like TikTok, you know, quite democratic, because you don't have to fall into the people talking about any theme. You can actually listen from outside. You can just leave and like find something that is really pleasant to your ear, something that is going to be like really beneficial for you. But also there are kind of like groups of people like grouping and like knowing each other. I heard even about a group of women who are like friends for I don't know how many years now, and they're traveling the planet Earth, they're going and seeing like each other as guests. So I would say TikTok is mind-blowing for healing. So if you are not on TikTok, I really in my heart don't believe it will close for USA. But if it will, I mean, parents should do a better job for their kids. And like, you know, I don't think TikTok should be responsible. The thing is, even like, what is the other argument about being given for TikTok being closed? That it like, you know, spreads this agenda when the boys want to be girls, because the boys as girls are even more beautiful than girls themselves who put up makeup. So, and what do I think about that agenda? It's a flow of time. You can do nothing about the flow of time, the flow of divine, everything divine into our lives, physical life on earth. And listening to Torah, you would understand that actually it has, because Bible roots and Quran roots are in Torah. And listening to Torah, you would really understand like where it comes from. And a long time ago in 98, I heard one, on a psychology conference, one man saying the word that men and women, it's the women who will take the man by the hand into a new world. And yeah, actually, like in Muslim cultures, the woman actually, like on the outside, it feels like she's totally governed by, and she put like hijab and stuff on her. But in many realities, it's the woman behind that hijab, punjab, whatever it's called, like, the veil. It's like governing everything. She's like real boss in many families. So, and woman actually is like really praised, like in Baha'i, which calls itself not religion, but faith. If there are kids like boys and girls, I mean, Baha'i came out of Iran, but it doesn't associate itself with Muslim, even though the scriptures are very flowery, kind of like Arabic language and Arabic words, And like, yeah, if there is a boy and a girl in a family, then, and if there is not enough money to send both of them to college, the girl gets a chance to go and study with Baha'i faith, because she's believed to be a mother, and mother, everything she learned in case she quits to working, and serving community, but she still will serve the kids, and the kids will grow up amazing people. So, and in Torah, I heard some words about like a really high place of a woman in this changing world. And I mean, if I were reading a lecture on systemic vector psychology, then you would understand that like in the 80s, I believe, there was like the whole like chaos of movies when very beautiful women played ugly women. So that was kind of like also kind of like opposites merging into each other. I'm not going to remember a name, but you probably can connect that. So it was kind of like real beauty and ugly merging. And I'm kind of remembering this guy on TikTok who was saying, well, I guess I'm not ugly enough, that's why I cannot be popular. But it's not because ugly is ugly, it's just the continuation of one energy, of all of the souls that keep coming back to have all kind of experiences. But there is the thing, all the contradictory thoughts, they only seem to be contradictory. And in real life, they live like one life pulsation. The thing is, we are living on earth in this duality world. We have flesh. And in Torah, like the future life, actually, what if like nothing will be left of the flesh, but we will just have the light bodies, And right now, there are a lot of other universes and other, planets with that light bodies experience, but they're just not showing to us, either for the lack of technology or for the lack of our spirituality, because we still have these veils. The veils are in the brain that kind of like only allow you to see what you can understand, because otherwise confusion sets in, and confusion brings the logistics of how everything works down. And I kind of still feel like, most of Earth and most of humans will survive. I'm not sure how much, I'm not making predictions on how much time we left, but the things are happening really fast, and you had a huge chance to learn it yourself, like when the pandemics happened. How many of you became spiritual exactly when the pandemics happened? Because you actually had a chance to stop that crazy rhythm of squirrel in a wheel. Yeah. Okay, jumping from theme to theme, but been a while, and it kind of like really like there was a passionate, hot energy inside me. And I'm so sorry. At the time, I even saw like 9 people watching me, but somehow I don't know why I cannot read your messages. Maybe I forgot how to do it. Sorry. But okay, now I'll just calm down and I'll focus on one good advice for you, because I thought just like at least I'll give you one good advice. The water you drink, there is always an expensive way of making you healthier, and there is also a very affordable way of making yourself healthy. So if your water in the city or like whatever is like bad, I hope at least you buy like really good water, like drinkable water from the store, you know. Of course, I mean, being a healing specialist for 27 years, my house actually is a wellness house, a wellness home. It's a company, Niken, that I got everything for the wellness, everything you sleep on, but about the water, I don't have the water system. I have a machine that purifies the water with 2 powerful filters. So if you buy your water, get the best one, and then freeze your water. Put it in the freezer. Let it freeze overnight. And then let it thaw. So the thing is, science proved a long time ago that in the spring, if there is a really good winter and really good ice, when the ice starts melting, if they measure that water by like live microorganisms, it's like brims with life. So basically dead water until it goes through all of your things, you know, to get to you. If you don't have some sort of a system water it's built in, you know. Well, if you have a well water, probably it's a good water, but it's still, I would say, freeze it. And then thaw it. And when you thaw that water, water restructures itself and it becomes so much more delicious. And also just recently, look at my crystal glass. It's sweating, that's why it's on the paper towel. Do you see the pink here? And there is also white here. So it's my thawed water. And I put some crystals in it. And the mountain crystal, here is one. It's called mountain crystal. Here is one more. Like if you put a piece of mountain crystal into your water, it's just for 20 minutes is enough. But I'm kind of like used to, I just drink it and I just refill it. 15-20 minutes, it's ready, it's drinkable. It energizes your water. Do you see how clear it is? And when you drink this water, your mind will crystallize. Your intentions will crystallize, but also your mind. If you have kind of like mix of bad and good vibrations, it will clear the bad vibrations. And also all the girls who want to date and who want more love in their life, and also just kind of like tune in with the life, feel your heart more, feel your spiritual heart thymus more, rose quartz. Wake up your crystal and charge it, your water. And I personally noticed that like this, you know, like this makes it kind of like a heavier water, but it actually means that it's actually also mineralizing your water. And this makes it silky and so smooth. This is like amazing. The water becomes silky and smooth. In my glass, they're both together. So I see people coming and going. Let me see if I can find live chat. Yeah, but where is my chat? Okay. I'm supposed to like slide 6 for right or left. Or no, it's not showing. So if you knew my Facebook, I could open the Facebook and you could ask your questions there. And maybe in the future I will do that. So I'll come back to this live. If you have any questions, like please write your questions later under this live. I'm live 20 minutes, I see. So, and then, so basically, I think that's all I wanted to say. But before I go, I want to make a book recommendation. And then I want to talk about one more rock called apophyllite for vision, for intuition, for third eye, working really amazingly. So, yeah, my book recommendation is today this lady had an inaugural business women meeting. Can you see it? Unless it's like as a mirror reflected. It's Carrie Davidson, The 5 Archetypes. And this is a really amazing book. You learn, you see wood, fire, earth, metal, and water, drop of water. Yeah. This is why it is amazing, because you know, right now I'm like, I was listening to Chinese astrology lectures for 4 years, and now I'm finally really deep diving it, beginning to counsel in it. And I merge tarot consult with the Chinese astrology consult on any issue. And it just really amazing. And I'm comparing Western astrology with Chinese astrology. And I'm like really like amazed on how Chinese astrology, it makes everything not like out there in the heaven, but it makes it all here. Because in Chinese astrology, like there is 8 columns, and if you know your animal, that's only your year of birth. And in Chinese astrology, it's like very brightly seen, like how the heavenly energy and earth energy meets. And there are 8 energies for each of us. And 8 energies means like a huge wealth of who you are. You don't have to be 1 or 2 persons. You don't have to be 1 or 2 systemic vector. Like in psychology, when they, you know, define you this way or that way, you don't have to be something like, you know, put in a box. You have like, you can really open up with lots of fire. You can learn how to get that fire if the fire is not in your chart, but it just gives you like a really detailed understanding. Carrie Davidson, she's so smart because she took that 5-element concept from Chinese medicine, Chinese astrology, and she put it into executive settings. She consults executives. And today there was a first meeting of business professionals, and one of the 4 questions that I really loved was like, if every executive was 1% more intuitive, what changes would happen on earth? Of course, 1% is too little. I would settle for 10 at least. And being and becoming intuitive that way, it's so easy. I have a really good video. I said the Russian oi. I have a really good video explaining 4 quadrants of your health, or 4 like energies that like what makes you up, you know? Body, thoughts, mind, emotions, but also spirit. And those 4 bodies, like in a Russian doll, you know, this is your physical body, your emotions up here too. That's why you know intuitively like about other people, because the emotions are like kind of like little horses running ahead of you, you know, senses and sensations. That's how you kind of like already feel. And then so it's kind of like emotions live in your total egg of aura. And if you don't work with them and if you don't release them timely, then they stick inside the body. And then it becomes like, with the time, it can become a health problem. But your mind is as big as all of this atmosphere pillow under the clouds. But spirituality is most important, because spirit and soul, it's what makes the essence of us. And spirit, like in the English word inspired, you know, it comes and goes. We are not inspired all the time. We cannot be positive all the time. We have to learn to really hold both poles, because we have flesh and we have soul spirit. But soul actually lives inside your body. And just like tuning and learning like these free things, free of charge things, you know, learning to work with your breath, learning to work with your muscles, like squeezing them, making locks, And so like channeling the energy more efficiently inside you, or like even like learning to work with your belly button, when you kind of like learn to use a belly button as a pulse, pipe pulse, and then you yourself can become a little volcano if you need more fire. So yeah, so to become intuitive is just enough, because your soul lives under your skin, and it's just enough to get more acquainted with your soul under your skin, like sensation territory, feeling territory. Sensations comprise your etheric body. Etheric body is that warmth coming off of your body. It's that thing when you feel it, like when you do this and you immediately feel a pillow. That's etheric body. And etheric body is made of the sensations. And then sensations, kind of like little rivers flowing to each other, they form the feelings. And emotions is like, feeling is more immediate, and emotion is kind of like what already kind of like became a glass metal inside you, or like a term to operate when you talk science and stuff. So, yeah, that was my book recommendation, and I actually have one more video recommendation. Today I saw this amazing guy, and if you are a blogger or YouTuber, sort of like beginning, I'm 15 years and I'm still beginning on YouTube. My husband's kept me busy, and then all kind of trauma and healing myself kept me busy, and I'm still in the process of healing. But this is the guy, and the video is called, I'll show you how it looks. It's called, I was an MIT educated neurosurgeon. Now I'm unemployed and alone in the mountains. How did I get here? And the YouTube channel is Gooby and Dooby. The guy spent 10 years becoming a neurosurgeon. Yeah, I actually spent 64 years of my life to become who I am. I just recently turned 64, 9 diplomas, 250 certificates about health. Last 7 years, just heavy esoterics, tarot and astrology, and other invisible so-called things, even though I was doing esoterics, but I wanted kind of like, this is how it looks. And the guy quit neurosurgery because he was saying that the surgeries were just taking away from the body and not giving to the body. And he also talked about like, putting 40 pounds extra. I mean, in the beginning, even though I'm myself international, when you see me, you understand I'm not like a Caucasian white American, even though deep in my subconscious, I always felt like white. And when I would even hear sometimes like, oh, like we are not the white people, right? Like even like from surrounding, it's like, first time I heard it, I had like big eyes and like, what do you mean I'm not white? But I'm actually like Central Asian and kind of like a European Asian. My country of origin is Turkmenistan. Even though I didn't do my DNA test, I know that I have some blood. And I also mixed blood with 4 of my husbands, which were 4 different nationalities, yeah, and from 4 different countries. Anyway, so that guy is, it's kind of like funny. He had to put his hood up because mosquitoes were eating him up. It reminds me of my Australian husband. He would sit in the woods and let the mosquitoes drink his blood because he was big on that Book of the Dead and he was practicing being a dead. By the way, here is one more recommendation. Recently, I wrote this kind of like blog, how 20 different ways how to be happy inside your body. But it's in Russian, but Google Translate probably makes a pretty decent job. So if you find me on Facebook under Anna Kristogoya, it's all mostly in Russian, but like, I don't know, I might put that Russian blog on my Dr. Jaren Facebook group as well, I mean Facebook page. And then because there are some real amazing things there, like amazing advice, how just to be happy inside your body. And one of them was like my recent way, I think I found it maybe like, you know, when I healed my spine, because I couldn't roll on my spine for 7 months. And then later when I broke the bone in the hip. But yeah, when I couldn't roll on my spine, but when I healed it and I was able to rock on my spine, because it's like really amazing to be able to rock on your spine, getting up on your tiptoes, you know, they're good for balance too. And so yeah, there are two very amazing postures in yoga. One called candle. I'm not going to tell you a Hindi word right now, but it's like when you lay on your back on your spine and then you bring your legs and even your hips all the way into a vertical line like this. In a good candle, only your shoulder blades are still on the floor. The whole body, and you kind of like move your hands from supporting your hips then up to like higher, and actually can have them on the kidneys, and then you can actually like have them right under your shoulder blades, and that's like a real good way to go. And then there is another posture out of candle when you go into a plow pose. That I remember in Hindi, it's halasana. Oh, by the way, in Turkmen language, hala is when you really like someone. And so halasana, likable pose, I would say. So when you bring all of that, what was up from the candle, over your head, and then, you know, you can put your knees, if you are flexible like me, at my 64, I had to work a lot to bring my flexibility back, because I didn't walk 10 months, yeah? And my leg actually didn't even like open to the side or didn't bend for like 5 months until I had the thing, and I did it, like I taught it again, like to like open up to the side and to actually be bent so I can sit close to easy pose or lotus, you know. Whew. Anyway, so why is that amazing exercise? It takes the pressure out of the body so well. And it's like exercising the Book of the Dead, because basically if you are not exercising the dying, you slowly are dying indeed. But if you have a really good balance between death and life, like if you are exercising like the Book of the Dead, like I know Tibetan one like teaches you, like every morning you get up and kind of like say goodbye to life, you know, who knows, will you sleep that night? Will you wake up next morning? But when you do exercise that, then you accept the life even more with so much gratitude and passion toward life. So the thing that I invented, the exercise, is like when you first put your kneecaps on your forehead, you can also put them on the top here. You can also, like if you are flexible, bring the kneecaps actually like even behind your head on the ground. And then you can actually, like, you know, in systemic vector psychology, it's called ear people. Like my voice is too much for the ear people. I kind of like speak with a little bit like push, you know. I'm still, I can, one-on-one I speak very quietly, but here it's kind of like as if I'm trying to prove something. Don't you worry if I'm kind of like, you know, jumping from topic to topic, because, you know, one Indian girl in Australia, when I met my Australian husband, had a brilliant idea. She said, in one of the past lives, you probably were like a Cassandra. You were telling people the truth, and your tongue was cut. And that is why you are in such a hurry to tell the things that you want to say. So, you know, you have time to say it all. Who knows, possible. One of the earlier things that I wanted to say from TikTok, this is a grand idea. The thing is, because all of my life I was learning and studying and integrating and meditating a lot, very rarely I hear something new that I haven't heard before, you know? So, and this noble idea for me was a real brilliant idea. And if you are a person who is really concerned about past lives, this will save you, because sometimes you get into this like mad path, like what I've been there, what I've been here. And out of some learnings, then you get inflated ego and you start looking down to everyone. That is not a way to go. And yeah, spiritual excursions that only slow your spirituality indeed. So the brilliant idea is this: what if you are born into each life, into every life, with all of your past lives together? And what if when you die, all of your past lives go with you? Put that on your plate. Put that on your pipe and smoke it. If I can't be even a little bit funny, it's because I just watched 5 seasons of the marvelous Miss Maisel. I think I have renewed interest to the comics. If you haven't watched it, please do. Marvelous, marvelous Miss Maisel. Yeah. So I think that would like, but with everything quantum understanding and hologram understanding, and if you don't know what a hologram is, it's connected to fractal theory about like every little piece of you having information about the big whole, every little tiny piece. Like earlier somebody was asking me about the pain like from the fracture. Whatever is fractured, you can find it on some finger and you can treat that finger and pain will easily go away. It's called Sojok therapy. My business's name is by that name, Sojok. Since 1998 in America, I had that business. So anyway, one rock that I wanted to mention is apophyllite. This is apophyllite. This is a little piece. I got it in Arizona. It's kind of like a white, not that clear, even though it has some clear parts, with kind of like a blue tint. And look, this is a large apophyllite. Look how gorgeous it is. It has some green apophyllite too. This is turning green a little bit. That is like, I think, very rare green apophyllite. And if you wanted to charge your water with apophyllite, apophyllite opens up your inner vision. It enhances your intuition. So, and if you wanted to do that, you would have to put it like a small piece like this in a separate glass of the little glass, you know, like put it in there. So it's like protected from the water that you're going to drink. And then you would lower this to this if you wanted to charge that water with apophyllite. Only rose quartz and water can go directly into your glass. Otherwise, rose quartz, it has to be put separately in some glass that can go inside your other glass that you want to charge. So I'm going to sit in quiet just a little bit, 38 minutes live. I want to encourage you, come back if you have any questions, post those comments as questions in the comments under this live video. I will read your questions and then I will come back with a live video exactly answering those questions. And also I might like, you know, learn how to see your messages so we can do it more in a live sense. So also sign up for Dr. Jaren Facebook page. It's listed on my account. And then that way I will announce that I'm coming live. And if you are kind of a person like, you know, who has a lot of free time on your hands, then you can, and maybe I will become a lot better, not like sporadic coming out, but like come in a certain time, you know. And if you live in Indianapolis or Indiana, and if you can travel to Indiana, then maybe you should know that I just today, I had during the ride in nature, I had this brilliant idea that I will offer free mentorship with Dr. Anna Krista, 20 minutes to an hour when the people come to see me in person for my fascial release session, because that's basically physical wise. That's one thing that I'm offering right now, and I'm offering the price $155 for a session, which is the price that I haven't offered in 20 years. And on top of that, I'm going to offer free mentorship, like 20 minutes, like anything you want to be counseled on, you know. It can be tarot, it can be astrology, Chinese astrology, but also my magic box of tools, because Should I mention it again? 9 diplomas, 3 of them with distinction, like only excellent marks, and 250 certificates in all, like everything about life, you know, mostly health, esoterics, health, and so anything about around health, you know, because everything in the body is connected. So I think I'm done talking. These are orange glasses. How do you like my white glasses? So we'll show in the end. Do I look a little bit like Audrey Hepburn? Ta-da-da! I can still do this thing at 64, and my head goes easily all directions. So, the most hard thing in cranial therapy to do is called, what is it called? Just a second, stillness point. Scientifically, it's called occipital condyle release. When the therapist holds the fingers like this, and the fingers are exactly where the head ends and the neck starts. This is called occipital condyle, like a little condyle, you know. So, and the hardest thing in the world to do is to hold that head and to give you induce the stillness point. It's really amazingly healthy for you. And maybe you notice like how much nerves are bunched up here, and they are restricting your vagus nerve and your even face. Even when you want to be happy, it cannot be happy if you have vagus nerve restrictions, because it's restricting your face. So yeah, and I have very strong fingers. Why do I have strong fingers? Because I have very strong mind, and strong mind makes for the strong fingers. And that's why any heavy head, I can hold it a long time to give you most amazing stillness point. Stillness point is like a huge space opening up, because all of your thoughts die out. All of your emotions bothering you die out. You are just in a state of bliss. And your soul is actually speaking with you, either with memories or with the visions of the future. So, how is that? Do you like Dr. Anna Krista this way? My neck is showing a little bit of the aging thing, but otherwise I'm pretty good, yeah, for a disabled person. So, lots of love to you. Hopefully you follow my recommendation. Follow my old name, Dr. Jeren page on Facebook. There is a link. I will be announcing my lives there on YouTube. Maybe we'll catch a rhythm. Write your comments to this video. Write your questions. I will compact your questions, and I will come back live to give you lots of understanding how our life and spirituality works together. And if you are above the earth, don't lose hope, because if you are still breathing and above the earth, lots of things can heal. Lots of things can be understood for you to become happy, for you to become your own engine, because your heart is able to deliver that fire. And this guy, as again I said, I was an MIT educated neurosurgeon, Gooby and Doobie. Doobie is his dog, and Gooby. So watch him, you will understand this is, oh, by the way, if you are a YouTube blogger, you would understand like really amazing thing about how this guy's videos were like, you know, like lots of my videos right now, only like 20 watches, 50 watches, 100, 200. And then he makes that video and it goes like, whoa, I think close to 500,000 right now, 408,000. Anyway, lots of love to you. And it's my Sufi thing, but it's kind of like, you know, I usually do this. Then I bless it with a third eye and intuition for you. And then I blow a kiss for you. God bless you guys. See ya.